Believe in the me that believes in you. This is a famous quote from one of my favorite anime series of all time, known as Gurren Lagann. And at first it's a bit confusing because you're like, what does that even mean? And when you really break it down, first it's believe in me, believe in the me, meaning put your faith in me to put your faith in you. And it's essentially saying that if you can't believe in yourself, then you should believe in somebody else to believe in you. And it's a really powerful quote. It's a really, really famous quote. And that's going to lead us into our conversation today. So, I'm back. Thank you everybody for joining me. I forgot that I had to go talk to the commander. It's been a little bit. I unfortunately came down with an illness for a little bit, so I wasn't really able to record anything.
Fun's keeping you busy?
And I was really bummed because I hit my week or so.
You've done well.
After I had recorded that last episode when I said I was feeling really good.
The fifth has an urgent mission.
And
Partner, you'd better come see me.
Hey there.
Getting distracted because things keep popping up. I couldn't. I'm losing my thoughts for some reason. Maybe because I'm tired. I couldn't record, so I was bummed. And I was doing really good beforehand. Like, that momentum that I had talked about before has still not stopped. There are definitely some things that I need to work on. Was I doing optionals or was I doing... we'll just keep going. I was doing really well, and there's still some things that I need to work on. There's still moments where thoughts come up, and it's like, yeah, I kind of don't feel like doing that, but yeah, it's been going good, other than the fact that it's been a hot minute. And after I got over being sick, I was pretty much right back into things. And, it's all about just not thinking about it. You just have to do it. As soon as you look at it, you complete the task then and there. You don't even think about it. And you get into a habit of not thinking about it. And before you know it, you have a lot more free time than you realized you had before. Because you stopped thinking about it. You just got it done. The 5 things that you needed to do when you got home from work, you've already done. You're already relaxing, doing whatever the hell you want. You want to read a book? Go for it. You want to play a video game? Go for it. Because you have the time now. You want to do something creative? You can start working on that project you've been holding off on for so long. But yeah. I guess this video isn't going to be very long at all. I guess let me think of some examples. So one thing that I really don't like is doing dishes and doing laundry in terms of folding clothing. So those were my priority topics. I was like, okay, dishes, let's get them done. The second I looked at it, and I have been continuing my momentum on that, and I'm really proud of myself. It's not an easy thing to do when you have a mindset of I want to think about everything instead. you know, there's a part of me that realizes that I don't know where the fuck I'm going. But I guess this is going to be a lot shorter video than I expected. And I'm not going to apologize for the lack of brain activity or all the ums and the pauses. Because this is me. And this is what you came here for. So, I guess something that I can talk about is kind of like my coat of arms. My philosophy on life, essentially, can be split up into multiple different, I guess you could say, spirit animals. The biggest one, my channel name, the Leviathan, first spawned from the Abyssal Legiacris from Monster Hunter 3. Actually, I don't remember if it was Try or if it was 3 Ultimate, because I think Try had it, but you had to be HR 70 or 75 to even take on the task, and it was a hell of a grind in that game. I regret picking this path. But essentially, the Leviathan is a representation of strength. And the reason for that is because when I first took on that monster, I was so excited, first of all, because Legiacris is my favorite monster in Monster Hunter, period. And I have yet to find a monster that has decided to take a split. Did you really just do that? Okay. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm doing my best to multitask my brain activity, and it is not easy. So the Leviathan represents strength because this thing was an absolute truck of a monster. First of all, you had to fight it underwater in like the deepest, darkest depth, so you couldn't really see shit except for the monster's glowing eyes and its glowing back. And I was using the Great Sword, so that is not an easy task, especially in Try, because Try was on the Wii. Think about that for a second. Motion controls, for the most part. And it took me a little bit to figure out how to fight him because he was really, really tough. Like I said, you had to be like HR 70 or 75. For those that don't know Monster Hunter terminology, that stands for Hunter rank. And at least back in those days, that was a really, really high rank to get to. Because, like, I don't know, you can fight a few monsters and maybe go up, I don't know, 2-3 ranks or something at a time. And as you progress further, it becomes more of a slog over time. I completely missed. So, I was kind of envious of this dude's strength. And to add the blue lightning, that was just the best touch. So, this thing was just a behemoth of power. And I really loved it. And I decided that that was going to be my philosophy for strength. Because, why not? is really powerful. Monster Hunter is something that I feel embodies my very soul. It's one of my favorite things to play. I do get burned out from time to time, but who doesn't? So we'll skip over to Wolf now. Wolf is actually one of the newer spirit animals, you could say. Because I actually didn't come up with Wolf until I made my character for him. And I decided that the wolf was going to represent courage as well as guidance. Because in my moment of considering, you know, wolves have been pictured to be creatures of guidance in, you know, spirituality and things. But also, they are pretty courageous. You know, they hunt in packs, but, you know, one wrong move and they're done for. I mean, they have to hunt for a living. If they pick on the wrong fight, it's curtains. So, and, you know, I can't say that Legend of Zelda didn't have anything to do with it, because Twilight Princess had a huge theme of a wolf. So, I would say that that probably has some part to do with it, but yeah, the wolf represents courage. I would say that my next spirit animal would be the tiger. Very specifically, a black tiger with white stripes and red eyes. Because I found a picture of one a long time ago. I thought it was really cool. And I feel that the tiger kind of represents my ferocity. You know, my passion to do things. So whenever I'm feeling, you know, passionate about something, I consider myself embodying the tiger in that regard. There's the tail. Another one that I typically represent alongside Leviathan is Phoenix, and that one should be pretty obvious. It's, you know, a phoenix rises from the ashes when it dies, so it's all about, you know, perseverance and not giving up. And that's pretty much it.
Look, the monster's almost done for.
I know I didn't have to talk about that, but I felt it would be nice to talk about it. Other than that, I'm just gonna keep trucking along. Trying to do better with changing my life around. I feel really good about it. And, you know, something I can also talk about. The fact that this feeling of, I don't even want to call it confidence necessarily. It's like a metaphysical feeling almost. It's, if you've ever been depressed, you know what that feels like. There's like a chemical feeling that you can't quite explain, but you can feel. And it's like the opposite of that. It's like a full-blown burst of adrenaline that is just consistent throughout my body. And it's like I'm ready to do things, you know? But that's I think that's gonna do it for this episode, really. Just enjoy the hunt. And any other crazy bullshit that might happen along the way. Even though the monster's almost dead, anything can happen. And I'll probably you know, I'll do another update I'll try to do an update in a week and hopefully not get sick again. I am still mildly recovering, so I don't want to push myself too much. You know, off topic. Well, I guess it's not entirely off topic because I did say I was going to talk about life stuff. Did you know that apples are an anti-inflammatory food? So, if you have an issue where you have inflammation in your body, you can eat some apples. Now, I wouldn't recommend, like, chugging a bunch of apples down, like, 3, 5 at a time or whatever. But, one a day. They do say the one a day, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and I'm kind of understanding why they say that now. Because I've had apples for the past 4 days in a row now, and I think it's really helping me.
You did it! Now the commander can send someone out to see if that slag will lead us to Zora Matter's.
Also, orange juice. I haven't started down the orange juice just yet. But I found that out recently. I was like, oh. So I don't have to die for another 2 to 4 weeks. I'm not dying. Just for the record, I'm not actually dying. I'm just figure of speech. So that was Puke Puke. Was. And then we're gonna end off the episode like usual, going over to the smithy and seeing if I can craft anything new. What the heck? That's a really crazy screenshot. I might be able to make like one thing.
You've done well.
I don't
Listen up.
want to listen to what you have to
Come on, it's
say.
time to begin the Elder Dragon investigation. Make sure you know what you need to do.
So now we need to protect the scholars. Let's regroup at the Wildspire Waste.
Oh, sick. Okay. We're going to a new location next time. Provided I remember to do so. And don't just pick up an optional quest. Am I confused? A resource center? That's what it was. You know what? I want mining out crops because I like to mine a lot. Oops. I'm gonna just throw this out there. If anybody wants to throw in the comments any topics that you'd like me to talk about in regards to life stuff, any wisdom I might be able to throw out there, feel free, I guess. I don't know if I'll necessarily talk about a whole lot other than what I've been talking about, but ooh. 1 shell and 2 scales. I have 5 scales. I only have 1 shell though. Item prolonger or poison resistance? I mean, poison resistance would be nice, but what's the difference here? I'm not weak to fire. I have a little more defense against water. I'm not negative to ice. I'm really bad against thunder, though. I'm not going to be fighting anything thundery yet, though. So, I'm going to go with the chest piece. Mainly because it changes my appearance more. And then if I get anything else, then I'll do that. Can I upgrade my weapon at all? I kind of plan on just using the same stuff as much as possible and seeing where things go. I need earth crystals, which I believe I'm getting in the next area, so that's not an issue. Alright, so thank you everybody who joined, and I will hopefully catch you in a week for a progress update. See ya.